Shalom likulam! Welcome to part 7 of our lesson series on Hebrew prefixes. This time we're going to take a close look at the prefix she. First, let's review the common Hebrew prefixes. Ha, that means the. Ve, that means and. Le, that means to. Be, that means in. Mi, that means from. She, that means that. And ki, that means as. Now let's look at the prefix she. In Hebrew, there are two ways to say that, which, who, or whom. The first one is asher. Asher is used in biblical or formal language. And the second one is she, the prefix she. This is used in modern language. So in English, we use different words to say that, which, who, or whom. But in Hebrew, there's just one way to say that. Well, if you're using modern language, we use she. And she can mean that, which, who, or whom. And for if you're talking in a biblical way, it's asher. So that's a big difference between English and Hebrew. Well, in fact, in Hebrew, there are the prepositions, prefixes, and there are words that can be used to mean so many different things. And she is a good example of that. It can mean that, which, who, whom, and we just use that prefix. Now, before we focus on the prefix she, let's compare it with asher. So here's asher in an excerpt from a blessing which is recited on Sabbath days and high holy days. So, melech haolam asher kideshanu. Okay, that means king. So melech means king. Haolam, of the universe. Okay, olam means world or universe. And here asher means who. Okay, kideshanu means sanctified us. So melech haolam asher kideshanu, that's king of the universe who sanctified us. Now, on the right side, let's see how we use she, the prefix she, to say who, right, in this phrase. Melech haolam shekidesh otanu. Okay, king of the universe, melech haolam, okay. And here, instead of using asher to mean who, we say she. It also means who in this case. Kidesh. Okay, that's the past tense of to make holy or to sanctify. Kidesh, that means sanctified. It's in the past tense. Otanu is the direct object. That means us. Melech haolam shekidesh otanu. So that's the way we say King of the Universe who sanctified us in modern language. But of course, since this part of the blessing, the prayer blessing, is recited in the context of a religious or biblical style of speaking, we use asher. So melech haolam asher kideshanu. Okay, so that example of using asher in the context of a prayer, a blessing, a religious context, a biblical style of speaking, is not how it's really done in day-to-day language. In modern Hebrew, we use she, the prefix she, to say that, or which, who, or whom. So the she prefix, okay, can act as a relative pronoun or as a conjunction. Let's see how the prefix she is used as a relative pronoun. So she can be used as a relative pronoun to express that, which, who, or whom. Now, what's a relative pronoun? A relative pronoun is a word which is used to refer to nouns that are mentioned previously. Okay, so in a sentence, imagine there's a noun, and just after that noun, we use she, which refers to that noun. Let's see this first example. Zikaron shenimshach. Zikaron shenimshach. Zikaron means memory. She, in this case, means that. Nimshach means lasts. Okay, zikaron shenimshach. So the subject, the noun here, is memory. So she is referring to memory. What memory? That memory. So she is referring, meaning that is referring to memory. So zikaron shenimshach, that means memory that lasts. In this particular case, she is acting as a relative pronoun, which is referring to a noun that has just been mentioned previously. Okay, so now let's look at more examples. Let's see the example of Hasimla shekanta. Hasimla shekanta. The dress which she bought. In this case, she is being used to mean which. Hasimla. Okay, ha means the. Simla means dress. She means which in this particular case. And kanta means she bought. Okay, kanta is the conjugated form of to buy, referring to a female. She bought, that's kanta. Hasimla shekanta. The dress which she bought. Now let's look at the example on the left. Hapizza shehu ochel. Hapizza shehu ochel. Ha, that means the pizza, of course, you know, it's a pizza. A pizza. She, in this case, means that. So, what pizza? That pizza. Okay, again, she acting as a relative pronoun here. Ha pizza shehu. Okay, hu means he. Ochel is the present tense of the verb to eat. So, eating is eating. That's ochel. Okay, in the masculine form. So, hapizza shehu ochel, the pizza that he is eating. So once again, she is acting as something that is referring to a noun that has just been mentioned previously. And let's look at more examples. So on the right, we have harofe sheyenateach. Harofe sheyenateach. The doctor, okay, ha, the rofe, doctor. Harofe, she, in this case, means who. Who's the doctor, okay? So who, the doctor who, right? So harofe she yenateach. Yenateach is a future tense conjugation of to operate. So will operate. Okay. Yenateach. Harofe she yenateach. Okay. The doctor who will operate. So she is referring to the doctor. Who's that doctor? Okay. So again, acting as a relative pronoun. And in this case, it means who. Now on the left side, we have this example. Ha'ish she'ani ohevet. So I'm speaking as a woman, so I would say ha'ish, the man. Ish means man. Whom I love. So in this case, she, acting as a relative pronoun, means whom. She'ani, whom I, ani means I, ohevet, okay, love, is loving. Okay, that's the present tense in the feminine form. So, ha'ish she'ani ohevet. Ha'ish she'ani ohevet means the man whom I love. So there you see that she is multifunctional, right? It has multiple meanings. It can mean that, which, who, or whom, depending on the context of the sentence. Now let's practice reading. Harofe sheyenateach. Harofe sheyenateach. The doctor who will operate. Harofe sheyenateach. Harofe sheyenateach. Ha'ish she'ani ohevet. Ha'ish she'ani ohevet. The man whom I love. Ha'ish she'ani ohevet. Hasimla shekanta. Hasimla shekanta. The dress which she bought. Hasimla shekanta. Hapizza shehu ochel. Hapizza shehu ochel. The pizza which he is eating, or the pizza that he is eating. Hapizza shehu ochel. Okay, so now let's see the other function of the prefix she. The prefix she is also used as a conjunction to connect clauses. So what is a clause? A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb that have a relationship. Let's see examples of that. An important thing to bear in mind is that in English, we have the option to not use a conjunction when expressing related clauses. So, for example, we can say, "This is the cake he loves." Okay, I didn't use the word that. I just said, "This is the cake he loves." But we can also say, "This is the cake that he loves." Okay, there I'm using the conjunction that. But in Hebrew, we don't have a choice. We don't have that option. We are required to use a conjunction, and that conjunction is the prefix she. And she is therefore used to connect related clauses. So in this example, to say this is the cake that he loves, of course, she means that. We will say zo, okay, zo, that means this. Ha'uga, okay, the cake. She, that means that. Hu means he. Ohev means love. So, zo ha'uga shehu ohev. This, the cake that he loves. Of course, the intention is to say this is the cake that he loves. Zo ha'uga shehu ohev. We don't have a choice. We need to use she, because in Hebrew, that's how we formulate these connection of two clauses. We need a conjunction, and that conjunction is she. So in that example which we just used, this is the cake that he loves, we are connecting relative clauses. Here, she is acting as a conjunction, okay, that also means that, which, it could also mean who or whom, but it is functioning not as a relative pronoun, but this time as a connector of two clauses. So what is a relative clause, by the way? A relative clause is used to give additional information about a noun. So let's look at this example. So the first clause is, this is the cake. So that's a clause, that's an idea. Another clause is, he loves this cake. Okay, And to connect those two ideas, right, those two clauses, we say, this is the cake that he loves. Okay, so now we're able to connect those two ideas because they are related. That's why we call them relative clauses. Zo ha'uga shehu ohev. This is the cake that he loves. Now here's another example where she connects relative clauses. So clause 1 is she lives in Haifa. He gara behaifa. He means she, gara means lives, be means in, and Haifa, of course, is a city in Israel. So he gara behaifa. She lives in Haifa. Now to connect that to the idea that, well, Haifa is in the north. So here the prefix she means which, okay, acting as a connector. She nimtzet. Nimtzet means is located, okay. She nimtzet, which is located. Batzafon, ba means in the. Zafon means north. Shenimtzet batzafon. Okay, Shenimtzet batzafon means which is in the north. So to connect those ideas that she lives in Haifa and that Haifa is in the north, we say היא גרה בחיפה שנמצאת בצפון. היא גרה בחיפה שנמצאת בצפון. Now let's practice reading. זו העוגה שהוא אוהב. זו העוגה שהוא אוהב. This is the cake that he loves. היא גרה בחיפה שנמצאת בצפון. היא גרה בחיפה שנמצאת בצפון. She lives in Haifa, which is in the north. Now, another way by which she acts as a connector is to connect adverbial clauses. So once again, she can mean that, it could mean which, who, or whom, but in this particular case, it is acting the role of connecting adverbial clauses. So what is an adverbial clause? Okay, well, adverbial clauses are clauses or ideas that express time, cause, purpose, or those relationships, in fact, that communicate the what, when, why, and how behind a main idea. So here, the main idea we have is after he ran. Now, after he ran, what? What happened? He rested. So that's the second idea, the clause. So it's only together that when together that they're able to express something comprehensible. So we see that אחרי שהוא רץ, אחרי means after. she in this case is acting as a connector, right? After that, who means he, רץ means ran. Okay, that's the past tense. In the past tense, we say ran. אחרי שהוא רץ, הוא נח. Who means he, of course, and nach means rested. After he ran, he rested. So in Hebrew, we need she. In English, we can say after he ran. But in Hebrew, we need she to link those two words. Okay, after that he ran, אחרי שהוא רץ, הוא נח. After he ran, he rested. And we use she as that connector to express this connection between those two ideas. After he ran, he rested. אחרי שהוא רץ, הוא נח. Now let's look at another example of she connecting adverbial clauses. So here we have the first clause, which is where you lived. Okay, where did you live? Where you lived. And the second clause is before you came here. Okay, so to connect those two clauses, we can ask the question, where did you live before you came here? So once again, in Hebrew, we need that connector she. So it's like we're saying, where did you live before that you came here? So in Hebrew, that's eifo. Eifo means where. Garta means you lived. Where you lived. Lifnei means before. So we're saying where you lived before that. Before. So she means that. Higata, you came. Lechan, here. Right? Eifo garta lifnei shehigata lechan. Where did you live before that you came here? So that's how we formulate the connection of these ideas that express a relationship of time, right? Like an adverb. Now let's look at an example where she is acting as a connector of clauses where there's a relationship of cause. Okay, so it's an expression of why of something. So here we have the first clause, because she's tired. Okay, so what? what? Because she's tired, what? So the second clause is she is silent. So if we connect the two, we could say that, oh, she is silent because she's tired, or because she's tired, she's silent. Okay, so to express that in Hebrew, we'd say, ze biglal shehi ayefa shehi shoteket. Okay, ze biglal, it's because, so ze means it is, or this is, okay. Biglal means because, so ze biglal, it's because. Shehi ayefa, here, she means that, he means she, ayefa is the feminine form of the adjective tired, okay. Shehi ayefa, that she's tired. Ze biglal shehi ayefa, it's because that she's tired. Shehi shoteket. Shehi, so she, that means that, he means she. Shoteket is the feminine form of the adjective silent, because we're referring to she. Okay, she's silent, so shoteket, shoteket. Ze biglal shehi ayefa shehi shoteket. It's because that she's tired that she's silent. Now let's practice reading. אחרי שהורץ, הונח. אחרי שהורץ, הונח. After he ran, he rested. איפה גרת לפני שהגעת לכאן? איפה גרת לפני שהגעת לכאן? Where did you live before you came here? Where did you live before you came here? איפה גרת לפני שהגעת לכאן? And the last example, זה בגלל שהיא עייפה שהיא שותקת. זה בגלל שהיא עייפה שהיא שותקת. It's because she's tired that she's silent. It's because she's tired that she's silent. זה בגלל שהיא עייפה שהיא שותקת. So, to recap, in modern Hebrew, we use the prefix she to express that, which, who, or whom. And the prefix she can act either as a relative pronoun or as a conjunction to connect ideas, to connect clauses. So that's it for the prefix she. And next time we're going to have the last lesson in our series on the most common Hebrew prefixes. We're going to see the final prefix, the prefix kaf, which can be pronounced as ki, ke, or ka. Thanks a lot for watching and hope to see you next time. להתראות.